How many grams of protein do I actually need per day? Now, in my experience, very few people are actually eating enough. And let me demonstrate why. So it obviously does depend a little bit on your activity, on whether you're training or not training. If you're very sedentary lifestyle, you may need less. Whether you're male, female, time of life, the stress levels you're under, as stress can eat into more of your protein reserves. But the overview is as follows. It's recommended we have anything from 0.5 gram up to 1.5 grams. Now that is the higher end. So between 0.5 gram, certainly up to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And to put that into perspective, if a person weighs 10 stone, which is 140 pounds, that means you're looking at 70 grams. This is at the 0.5 gram now. You're looking at 70 grams of pure protein per day. That is approximately the equivalent of 350 grams of protein food. So to clarify, your 100 grams of salmon will give you about 20 grams of protein. Fillet steak, 100 grams, gives you about 25. Halloumi will give you about 24. If you're going lentils, that will give you just 9 grams per 100 grams. And the protein shake, the casein protein shake that we have in Strong Nutrients, depending on the flavour, will give you anything from 24 up to 27 grams per scoop. So when I'm talking to clients, we'll usually break it down roughly as follows. It does depend on the individual, etc. But as a general rule, first meal of the day would be between 60 to 80 grams of protein food. Now, 60 grams of protein food is approximately the equivalent of 2 eggs, or roughly about 3 slices of smoked salmon. So the first meal, between 60 to 80 grams. And the final meal, I'd be recommending at least 200 grams, which is like 2 small salmon fillets, just to give you an idea. So that only leaves you with around, that's only 260 to 280 grams. We're looking at a minimum of trying to get you to that 350. Now, personally, I think you need to be on the higher side of that. So here we're talking about the lowest common denominator. So we're looking at 350. We need to find you somewhere in that another at least 90 grams of protein. And that's equivalent to about 3 eggs. It's the equivalent of 3/4 of a scoop of a protein shake. It's like a small chicken breast, a small salmon fillet, and that's something you could then have as your lunch or 4 o'clock sort of snack halfway through the day. So that is a starter for 10. Now, I find very few clients taking that, and as I have to emphasize, that is if you weigh approximately 10 stone, 140 pounds, and that's at the 0.5 gram, which is the absolute lowest end that you would start with. My recommendation would be really trying to aim for at least 3/4 of a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So personally, I would think 350 grams per day is slightly too low. I'd be encouraging you to go more for the 400 grams. Bear in mind, from the age of 30, we're losing about 0.5 pound of our lean body mass each year, just as we age. Stress eats into that muscle tissue more as the cortisol breaks down the muscle to access the sugars. And then excess training can also eat into it further, as can the low-calorie diets. They can really ravage your lean body mass and muscle tissue. So you really need to be looking at replenishing and rebuilding. It's not even about building muscle mass once we get past 30. It's very much about rebuilding, recovering it.